Hello, I am Santiago Rodriguez, Chief of the Goodyear Police Department. As the Chief, it's my responsibility to provide leadership to the department and accountability to not only the executive leadership of the city, but accountability to our residents and department members. I am honored to lead the dedicated men and women of this great department and proud to present our 2019 annual report. Each day, our police officers carry out their duties to protect the residents and guests of Goodyear with exceptional service and professionalism. And we do that with the support of city management, mayor and city council, as well as the support of our residents and local businesses. The members of the Goodyear Police Department are a highly engaged and an effective police force, striving to live the core values of the city and carry out their duties with integrity, empathy, optimism, adaptability, initiative, and innovation. In 2019, the department purchased $36,000 worth of AED units for patrol vehicles with grant funding from the Tohono O'odham Nation and the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant. In addition, every member of the department, sworn and civilian, participated in CPR and AED training in order to prepare ourselves for any cardiac emergency that may arise. Per the American Heart Association guidelines, the goal of an AED program is to provide defibrillation within the first 3 to 5 minutes of a collapse from a sudden cardiac arrest. Meeting this goal increases the chances of survival by 70%. With the Goodyear Police Department's average response time of 4.5 minutes to a 911 call, this often puts officers on scene before fire or EMS arrives. Clearly, having portable AED units available to our officers could provide life-saving outcomes to the public. The department will continue to seek funding opportunities to expand the program, with the eventual goal of having one AED per patrol vehicle in the future. In 2019, the department secured $35,000 of supplemental funding for automated license plate reader technology for the department. Training for all patrol staff allows officers to protect their communities more effectively, revealing patterns of activity associated with criminal events and assists in the search for stolen or wanted vehicles. Automated license plate reader technology automates a tedious manual process and improves officer efficiency in identifying vehicles of interest among the hundreds observed during routine patrol. The Goodyear Police Department Traffic Unit received a grant in the amount of $27,190 from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, allowing the department to implement AZ-Track's electronic crash reporting software to replace the existing paper reporting process. This will include installing track software in all patrol division and traffic unit mobile data computers. The purpose of this grant is to utilize tracks to improve crash report submittal and allow approval directly from the units in the field, simplifying the in-house records management process and facilitating quicker sharing of crash reports to the appropriate state of Arizona agencies. In 2019, the Goodyear Police Department purchased TrueNarc, a handheld narcotics analyzer. TrueNarc allows multiple officers to be trained in conducting immediate narcotics testing. Immediate drug testing reduces the need to send samples to the DPS drug lab and also allows for immediate drug recognition in order to start the booking process. In the past, individuals suspected of possessing illegal narcotics either remained in custody until a positive identification of the drug could be made, or the subject was released. The cost and time involved in this long process was often prohibitive. In addition, TrueNarc provides an increased level of safety for officers when testing unknown substances. The types of narcotics routinely found by law enforcement are no longer limited to typical street narcotics, but instead increased numbers of dangerous drugs such as fentanyl are becoming more prevalent. Causing concern for officer safety, this device reduces the risk of exposure to dangerous substances. The Goodyear Police Department cherishes the relationships we have built with our neighboring departments within the city. We work closely with the fire department on emergency scenes, as well as with programs such as Lids on Kids and child passenger safety. We support Parks and Recreation with traffic and security at large events such as the Fall Festival and the Hop and Hops event, and work closely with the Goodyear Ballpark for the entire spring training season. working traffic control and security inside the ballpark. I am honored to share with you the additional accomplishments of the Goodyear Police Department for the year 2019 and give you an inside look at the members who work as a great team to make it all happen.
I'm Jason Baer, Sergeant over the Goodyear Police Department's Professional Standards Unit. The unit operates directly under the authority of the Chief. The goal is to ensure that the integrity of the department is maintained through a fair, thorough, and timely system of internal investigations that are conducted in accordance with accepted department and city policies and procedures. It is common for police departments to receive both complaints and compliments from residents about their employees. Most complaints are handled by means of a public education process where the department provides insight into the rationale behind officer actions and takes advantage of all opportunities to resolve resident issues at the lowest level through dialogue. Some of these complaints are handled as inquiries only, where additional details are gathered about the alleged misconduct in order to determine whether the assertions require a full administrative investigation. In 2019, there were 260 complaints against employees. 227 of these complaints resulted in public education, and 33 required a full internal investigation. PSU reviewed 23 use of force incidents in 2019, down from 36 in 2018. 2 firearm discharges, and no officer-involved shootings. Use of force incidents included 12 canine deployments, which was 4 less than the previous year, and 3 vehicle pursuits. In Goodyear, we are seeing a downward trend in use of force incidents over the last 3 years. Vehicle accidents were up slightly from the previous year, 23 compared to 19. Many vehicle accidents are preventable due to factors such as unsafe vehicle backing, inattention, or distraction. This number represents a training opportunity for the department to improve driving habits of personnel. As shown through the FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting Program chart, in general, most categories of crime decreased in Goodyear from the previous year. Although this is a positive trend, Goodyear Police Department continues to monitor trends by crime type in order to respond with the appropriate resources as part of its strategic goal of maintaining a secure, well-regulated, and well-maintained community.
I'm Lisa Berry, the Public Information Officer here at the Goodyear Police Department. The PIO reports directly to the Chief of Police and acts as the liaison between the police department and the community through mainstream media and social media. The PIO responds to crisis incidents, reporting updates to the community through local news media, as well as department social media platforms. The department has enjoyed great success on social media, with over a 17% increase of followers on Facebook and over 1,700 new followers on our brand new Instagram account within just 10 months from its inception. Regular postings of photos, videos, and crime and injury prevention tips has contributed to the success of our social platforms. The department also shares important information with the community and media via Twitter and with our neighbors on Nextdoor. The Media Relations Office also works to highlight the many accomplishments of the department and the great work of its members by pitching good news stories to the media and securing news coverage on the vast majority of stories pitched.
Hospital. This is wonderful. I have Lisa here with me. We're so glad that you guys can give back to these sick kids and their families. This means the world to them.
This does mean the world to them, and it means the world to us. Goodyear Police Department has a heart for community policing, and this is one way for us to give back to the community as a whole.
The PIO also delivers presentations to groups, MCs large events such as the City of Goodyear's annual Volunteer Appreciation Event, the city's Employee Appreciation Event, as well as the Police Department's awards ceremony. The Public Information Officer also writes articles on crime and injury prevention for local publications. In addition, the Police Department's Lids on Kids Helmet Safety Program falls under the leadership of the Public Information Officer. In 2019, the Police Department teamed up with the Goodyear Fire Department's Fire Pals program to educate school children in Goodyear on the importance of wearing a helmet when riding a bike, scooter, or skateboard. A bike rodeo was held for the community in February at the Goodyear ballpark, where children were educated on helmet safety and led through a bicycle course where they learned the rules of the road. During the first quarter of the 2019-2020 school year, the Lids on Kids program manager and officers joined Fire Pals at 15 elementary schools and educated 7,513 pre-K through 5th grade students and teachers on this important life-saving topic.
Hello, I'm Reagan McCarthy. I'm the sergeant over the training unit in the Goodyear Police Department, formerly under the supervision of Lieutenant Jeff Mercy in the year 2019. The training division coordinates all training necessary to maintain and enhance the skills of sworn officers in the department. This includes the Field Training Officer or FTO program for newly hired officers and police assistants, as well as continued professional development for all department personnel. Each newly hired Goodyear police officer receives initial training through the FTO program. Field training officers provide 2 weeks of preparatory training which covers department policies and procedures, along with instruction in tactics and techniques required before taking the road. The officer in training, also called the OIT, will then spend up to 14 additional weeks working alongside 4 different field training officers. This in-field training is divided into 4 phases of increasingly complex topics and responsibilities, including all areas of police response and investigation. In 2019, 9 police officers and 2 police assistants were trained through the FTO program. The training division also provides continued professional development of department personnel. This includes scheduling and facilitation of all mandatory and elective training for the department's sworn and professional civilian personnel. Staff members take an active role in instruction of classes and ensure compliance with AZ Post rules and regulations concerning law enforcement training. The training division also implemented City of Goodyear core values training classes for all department personnel. The training division met and exceeded the annual training requirements per Arizona Post for department sworn employees. Approximately 3,555 training hours were offered by the training unit and completed by Goodyear police officers. In addition, the City of Goodyear core values trainings for department personnel was facilitated by the training unit. The Special Assignments Unit, or SAU, consists of the Crisis Negotiations Team and Special Weapons and Tactics Team, or SWAT. It is the intent of the Special Assignments Unit to provide highly trained tactical and negotiation support in potentially life-threatening situations. These sensitive situations often require specialized skill, tactics, and equipment to isolate, control, and resolve the situation in a manner consistent with department policy. The ultimate goal of SAU is a non-violent resolution of encountered situations while being prepared to take all necessary action to resolve a situation. In support of its commitment to the grant-funded Urban Area Security Initiative, or UASI, statewide response, the Goodyear SWAT team continues to train in elements required to maintain its FEMA Type 2 resource classification. In 2019, the training division continued its participation in the UASI grant program. The department received a total of $40,000 in UASI tactical training grants, which included $7,300 for tactical training and $31,700 for equipment such as a satellite phone and 5 self-contained breathing apparatus units.
For fiscal year 2019, the department's general fund operating budget was $25,594,300, which represented 27% of the city's general fund budget, the largest of all the department budgets for the city. This budget included 153 full-time department personnel, of which 113 were sworn and 40 were professional civilian staff members.
I'm Lieutenant James Hernandez, Records Custodian for the Goodyear Police Department. The Records Unit is responsible for all aspects of document control within the department. The unit controls all records and information activities from the point where they are created or received through final disposition or archival retention, including distribution, use, storage, retrieval, protection, and preservation. The unit is also responsible for data entry of incident reports, arrests, citations, traffic collisions, towed vehicles, field contacts, and warrants. Records management includes compliance with all state and federal laws regarding records retention, as well as department policies on information requests which may or may not be specifically allowed or prescribed by statute. This includes the maintenance, dissemination, and security of all documents to include processing, storing, scanning, retrieving, and releasing documents to appropriate government and law enforcement agencies as well as the public. Information that is crucial to the investigative, arrest, and judicial process is prepared by the Records Unit, including redaction. The Records Unit ultimately provides a basis for accountability for the entire department by ensuring that relevant evidential information and documentation is secured and maintained in a form that can be easily retrieved when requested. In 2019, the Records Unit processed 8,782 public records requests, 605 of those being body-worn camera requests. The unit also processed 10,107 reports, an average of 842 per month.
Hi, I'm Scott Benson, and I oversee and lead our Enforcement Bureau. The Enforcement Bureau is the largest bureau here at the Goodyear Police Department. It consists of our Patrol Division, our Canine Unit, and our Traffic Unit. The Patrol Division is assigned to monitor and patrol jurisdictional areas of the City of Goodyear. This division responds to calls for service, acts as a deterrent to crime, enforce state and local laws, and respond to emergencies 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Patrol is responsible for the prevention of crime, the apprehension of criminal offenders, traffic violations and collisions, the maintenance of public order, and to respond to hazardous situations and/or conditions. The division continually operates under the tenets of community-oriented policing and also engages in problem-solving activities such as citizens assist and promoting positive citizen contacts. The division consists of 4 squads per day. There are 4 police lieutenants, known as watch commanders, who collectively work 7 days a week, 20 hours a day, and are responsible for each patrol shift. The watch commanders are the highest ranking official in the absence of the chief of police and the deputy chiefs, and they are authorized to act on their behalf if necessary. While on duty, they are responsible for the orderly operation of the police department and direct activities in a manner that is consistent with department policies and procedures.
Hi, my name is Lieutenant Jason Costello. I am one of 4 watch commanders that oversees our patrol division. Our mission statement is simple and straightforward. We can't do this alone. We strive to partner with the community, and we do that through a 3-pronged approach. We do that through diligent patrols, we do that through community-oriented policing, and we do that through enforcement of the laws. And we do that to maintain the peace and to protect the rights of the citizens we serve.
Each patrol squad is supervised by a police sergeant in the department. Each sergeant has management responsibility for the officers and the police assistants on their squad, which includes the supervision and delegation of individual responsibilities and assignments. The shift sergeant is responsible to staff the city based on the daily needs. As patrol supervisors, each sergeant must ensure that their officers are fully informed of the areas in their respective districts that are in need of preventative patrol and must ensure that such locations are checked during each shift.
Hi, I am Carol Crone, one of 3 police assistants with the Goodyear Police Department. Our job has many different responsibilities. A lot of what we do is online reporting or in-person reporting for property crimes where there is no suspect. So that could include vehicle burglaries, stolen vehicles, criminal damage, and we do a lot of identity theft and fraud. We do a lot of the investigation up front. That's kind of where we excel. So when the reports go on to investigations, they have a lot of the information that they need to do further follow-up. We do crime scene processing, so that does involve a lot of latent print. If we have a vehicle burg, we are trying to lift those prints to get a suspect, and we all love what we do.
All supervisors, officers, and police assistants share information through daily patrol briefings, which occur at the beginning of each shift. These briefings provide patrol personnel with information relative to daily activity, new training bulletins, crime trends, unusual occurrences, and any other relevant information. The department has a patrol officer assigned to the Goodyear Municipal Court to assist with courtroom security, immediate bookings, defendant payments, and any other court-ordered mandates. The court officer assists patrol with in-state transport of Goodyear warrants booked outside of the Maricopa County area, issuance of misdemeanor warrants, and setting up meetings with the presiding judge. In addition, the officer provides weekly transport for in-custody persons for scheduled appearances in court, which totaled 233 for 2019. The K-9 program was established in Goodyear in order to enhance the effectiveness of law enforcement services for the community. Led by Sergeant Brad Harden, the K-9 unit consists of 5 K-9 teams supporting the patrol division by conducting drug and narcotic searches, performing suspect tracks and building searches, open area searches, and making criminal offender apprehensions. One of the 4 K-9 teams has an explosive ordnance detection training. This is what we call an EOD dog, which has been specifically trained to search for various types of explosives. All K-9 teams are dual purpose, meaning that in addition to either narcotic or EOD work, they are also used as a tool in the location and apprehension of fleeing suspects. Citizens of Goodyear are always welcome to ask questions at city events or if they see a K-9 team out in the community and interact with one of our K-9 teams for a better understanding of their usefulness in patrol and other duties. In addition to community events, the unit assisted other agencies throughout the year. They assisted numerous agencies with drug finds and suspect apprehensions, as well as bomb searches, which are also conducted prior to every spring training game at the Goodyear ballpark. Additionally, the unit alternates as host for weekly K-9 in-service training with other agencies. In 2019, the Goodyear Police K-9 unit participated in 80 agency assists, 94 criminal apprehensions, 23 community and school demonstrations, 282 searches including area searches, articles, buildings, and vehicles, and 37 explosive searches.
My name is Jason Seabright, and I'm the Sergeant of the Goodyear Police Department Traffic Unit. Our unit includes 5 officers and 1 traffic investigations specialist. 3 of the officers work in specially designed aggressive driver vehicles to blend in with traffic, and 2 officers utilize police motorcycles. All officers in the unit are highly trained in their craft, and several are drug recognition experts who can identify drivers impaired by not only alcohol, but 7 additional categories of drugs. Towing administration is also an important component of the traffic unit. Led by Shelley Tarasavage, the purpose of the towing administration is to administer police programs in support of state statute, which requires law enforcement to impound motor vehicles under certain conditions. These may include, but are not limited to, the enforcement of suspended, canceled, or revoked privilege to drive, enforcement of persons with no operator license, enforcement of ignition interlock device restrictions, or the enforcement of removal requirements for impaired driving. Keeping our roadways safe is a top priority of the Goodyear Police Department, whether through education or enforcement of traffic laws, and getting impaired drivers off the streets. The Goodyear Police Department has worked closely with the Governor's Office of Highway Safety to achieve this success. In 2019, Goodyear Police Department received over $132,400 in grants from GOHS for things such as DUI education and enforcement, radars, and work zone safety enforcement. In addition, the Goodyear Traffic Unit participated in 48 West Valley DUI task forces and made 360 DUI arrests. In 2019, the Traffic Unit participated in the Click It or Ticket campaign.
Seatbelts save lives, as do child restraints. And it's such a simple action to just buckle up your seatbelt. It takes a couple seconds.
And received 6 new Talon 2 directional radars in the grant amount of $13,489. The unit received a $20,000 DUI abatement grant for officer DUI enforcement and a $60,000 DUI grant for overtime, education, and the Know Your Limit program at the ballpark. The unit received a $10,000 work zone safety enforcement grant and a grant for $23,955 to purchase a new Zero electric motorcycle. In 2019, the traffic unit attended a number of special events. In addition, Goodyear Traffic Unit hosted 4 motorcycle in-service trainings for West Valley motor squads,
served as an escort during the law enforcement torch run, attended GAIN, coordinated all radar and LiDAR unit certifications and calibrations for the department, and multiple trainings internally and for outside agencies. Goodyear Police Department also implemented e-citations, which allows the ticket writing process to be completed electronically and goes directly to the courts, eliminating all paperwork.
I'm Jeff Mercy, currently acting as the Deputy Chief over Support Services. This bureau includes criminal investigations, policy administration and support services, hiring and recruiting, and the homeless outreach team.
I'm Lieutenant Scott Benson of the Goodyear Police Department, and I currently lead the Telecommunications Division. The division is tasked with answering all calls made within the city, answering all non-emergency and 911 calls. Telecommunications provides radio communications to the officers in the field and the handling of inquiries and entries into the national and state criminal justice information system and all databases. Goodyear dispatch professionals cover shifts around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, serving the residents and visitors of Goodyear. Dispatcher training is an intense process. It takes a trainee between 20 and 26 weeks to complete the program. In addition, in order to fill just one dispatcher position, typically the division will process more than 150 applicants to find that single person who is able to successfully pass the rigorous testing and background process required to be hired as a telecommunications operator. Despite a growing population and increasing activities within the city, Goodyear dispatchers maintain their performance goal of a 5-second average time to answer any incoming 911 calls as well as text to 911.
My name is Lieutenant Greg Garner with the Goodyear Police Department. I manage the Criminal Investigations Division, or CID. CID serves as the main investigative branch of the police department. The mission of CID is to identify, target, arrest, and successfully prosecute individuals involved in criminal activity, as well as to recover any stolen property. Detectives investigate cases beyond the resources of the patrol division, conducting follow-up investigations in criminal cases and responding to crime scenes when requested. CID also includes units who operate proactively with the intention of reducing the likelihood of citizens becoming the victims of crime. In 2019, the Criminal Investigations Division reviewed 2,799 cases, made 113 arrests, responded to 144 callouts, served 171 search warrants, and saw justice served in several cases, totaling over 60 years of prison time in the Department of Corrections. CID is divided into units based on areas of responsibility. The Persons Crime Unit is supervised by Sergeant James Dugall and is responsible for investigating crimes such as homicide, suicide, any suspicious death, robbery, assault, aggravated assault, kidnapping, extortion, missing persons, and domestic violence crimes. Persons Crimes also handles investigations involving law enforcement personnel, officer-involved shootings occurring within the city of Goodyear, and criminal investigations of all in-custody deaths. The Special Victims Unit is supervised by Sergeant Chip Kirk and is responsible for investigating crimes such as sexual assault, child abuse, child sex crimes, and elder abuse. The unit is also responsible for managing the sex offender registration database and internet crimes against children. The Property Crimes Unit is supervised by Sergeant Kyle Rogers and is responsible for investigating crimes such as auto theft, fraud schemes, financial crimes, organized crime, arson, burglary, theft, and identity theft. The Neighborhood Enforcement Team, or NET, is supervised by Sergeant Jason Matty. NET was created in 2017 as a dual-purpose unit capable of providing a quick response to quality of life issues facing the City of Goodyear neighborhoods. The unit works in both a uniformed and plainclothes capacity, assisting both patrol and CID by conducting complex investigations involving property or persons crimes, locating and apprehending persons of interest and/or suspects wanted for crimes committed within the city and surrounding jurisdiction, and serving search warrants. The NET unit provided a wide variety of support for the department in 2019. Officers did saturation patrols throughout various neighborhoods, meeting with community residents to gather information on crime trends provides shift coverage to patrol during various training times, and participated in various community events. The dual purpose function of this unit continues to provide a very valuable resource to the department. In 2019, NET served 288 search warrants, made 133 arrests, seized over 26,000 fentanyl pills, 54 pounds of methamphetamines, and $207,000 in cash. The Crime Intelligence Analyst Unit is a component of the Criminal Investigations Division and is under the direct supervision of the Criminal Investigations Lieutenant. The unit, led by crime analyst Stacy Castillo, directly supports the department's goals and community-oriented policing efforts by providing timely and accurate tactical, strategic, administrative, and operational intelligence of data relating to crime. The Crime and Intelligence Analyst is responsible for monitoring criminal activity in the city of Goodyear and communicating the information to command staff, patrol, CID, and other sections and units as needed. The department's Victim Service Unit was established to ensure that victims of crime are afforded the support needed after a traumatic situation. The Victims Assistance Program, led by Christina Bunch, provides services to anyone who is a victim of crime or experiencing a traumatic event, to include domestic violence, sexual assault, loss of a loved one, and child physical and sexual abuse. Christina also assists individuals and family who have been seen at the Southwest Family Advocacy Center. In 2019, Goodyear had approximately 179 clients that were seen at the center, and 816 services were provided to those clients by Christina. Services provided range from assistance with orders of protection, emotional support, information on criminal justice process, counseling referrals, safety planning, and more. In addition to providing services to crime victims, the Victim Assistance Program ensures the police department is up to date and in compliance with Arizona laws in regards to victims' rights. The Victim Assistance Program also participates in community events, collaborates with other community service providers, and is available to provide education and awareness to the community.
Hello, I'm Joe Pacello, Lieutenant over the Hiring and Recruiting Unit. The unit's primary function is to coordinate the lengthy hiring process for the department over sworn, non-sworn, and volunteers. In addition to being managed by a lieutenant, the unit includes one employee assigned as a background investigator. The background investigation process includes review of each applicant's packet for compliance with AZ Post standards for sworn and compliance with City of Goodyear and Police Department requirements for non-sworn. The process also includes clarification of personal information, work, military and driving history, criminal history check, reference validation, and coordination of all necessary polygraphs, psychological tests, and medical evaluations. The Hiring and Recruiting Unit handles thousands of applications throughout the year. Less than 10% of all applicants meet the stringent background requirements of the Goodyear Police Department. A typical background investigation for a department employee takes approximately 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the position for which the candidate is testing. The unit works hand in hand with the Human Resources Department throughout the entire process and also assists with background investigations on applicants in other positions throughout the city. In 2019, 10 police officers and 12 civilians were hired along with 5 volunteers in police services.
In 2019, Chris Nadeau managed administrative services, which consisted of the Property and Evidence Unit, Quartermaster, Policy Administration, and various technology functions. The Property and Evidence Unit consists of 2 independent work groups, the Crime Scene Unit, which has 1 full-time crime scene specialist, and the Property and Evidence Unit, which has 2 full-time property officers. Both areas are supervised by a Property and Evidence Supervisor, who is qualified as both a crime scene specialist and a property officer. The Crime Scene Unit is responsible for all the call types that require the evaluation, investigation, and analysis of scenes requiring special equipment and investigative techniques. The unit uses state-of-the-art tools and techniques to secure, collect, and process physical evidence, including lifting fingerprints, collecting and documenting trace evidence, such as hair or fibers, documenting death investigations, and documenting scenes involving trajectory information from gunfire and/or blood spatter patterns. Staff also processes physical evidence in-house and conducts test firings and examines firearms casings using the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network. They also brief the detectives and officers working cases by preparing reports and ultimately testifying in court as necessary. In 2019, over 135 crime scenes were investigated. Over 371 supplemental reports were taken, which include scene investigations, internal examination reports, and other reports that they are tasked with by the Criminal Investigations Unit. The Property Unit is responsible for the proper control, storage, release, and disposal of all property and evidence that is impounded under the control of the Goodyear Police Department. The unit is also tasked with storage location tracking, property packaging and repackaging, disposal and/or destruction of items, and releasing property as prescribed by law to the rightful owners for court purposes and for auction or donation. In addition, the unit manages the department's successful prescription drug disposal program, which safely disposed of over 868 pounds of collected prescription drugs. Administrative Services continued to work towards implementation and management of a joint police IT project to replace the existing Tyler New World Aegis computer-aided dispatching system. A cross-functional department team has worked to map all workflows impacted by CAD, reconcile and redevelop the geographic information system data utilized by CAD, and to coordinate efforts between city staff and vendor personnel to configure the new software. In 2019, the Support Services Manager also oversaw the hardware side of the department's body-worn camera program, which included the actual cameras and the chargers and data docks for the cameras. The department has expanded the program from 50 to 100 assigned cameras, making body-worn camera technology available to all sworn members of the department.
Hi, I'm Sean Clark. I'm the sergeant over the Goodyear Police Department's Community Services Unit. Community Services was designed with the intention of reducing the likelihood of citizens becoming victims of crime. As a bridge between the citizens of Goodyear and the police department, Community Services dedicates time and resources to programs that build relationships with the community. Some of the community service programs currently in place include the Block Watch programs, Volunteers in Police Services, or VIPS, Police Explorers, Tip a Cop Special Olympics fundraising events, GAIN, or Getting Arizona Involved in Neighborhoods, Shop with a Cop, Citizens Academy, Coffee with a Cop, and much more. In addition, the Community Services Unit provides neighborhood mediation in partnership with the City of Goodyear Code Compliance Office. An important part of crime prevention and keeping the crime rate low in Goodyear is our commitment to community policing. As often as possible, our officers are visible in the community and engaging with our residents, whether it's through an organized event such as Coffee with a Cop or giving a crime prevention presentation at a neighborhood meeting, or maybe it's interacting with our youngest residents while out to lunch. Actively engaging with our community is paramount. The Volunteers in Police Service, or VIPS program, was created in 2004 with the purpose of enhancing the quality and quantity of services provided to the community. The goal of the program is to encourage citizen involvement in police-related activities. Most VIPs report a sense of pride and personal growth which comes from helping their community. These volunteers enjoy involvement in every division of the Goodyear Police Department, supporting every aspect of the department's effort to meet the public safety needs of the community. VIPs act as the eyes and ears of the department, helping to deter criminal activity by remaining visible during their regular patrols. The Goodyear Police Department VIPS program continues to add new volunteers who are all vital members of the Goodyear Police Department team. YANA, which is an acronym for You Are Not Alone, is a free program offered by the Goodyear Police Department's VIPS. This program provides regular phone calls and home visits to seniors who have limited family or community contacts. Seniors can also call the YANA program for help finding specific services and resources. YANA promotes peace of mind and a sense of security for our senior residents. It's a great resource for disabled seniors who enjoy the independence of living on their own, but don't have nearby family or friends to check on them regularly. The Goodyear Police Department Explorer program, also known as Law Enforcement Exploring, is part of the Boy Scouts of America in their parent organization, Learning for Life. The program is open to young men and women ages 14 through 20 years and provides participants with the means and opportunity to promote personal growth through character development. Explorers are provided with a variety of law enforcement-related community service opportunities and leadership training, and are encouraged to participate in physical fitness and other activities that encourage team building. Explorers work under the direct supervision of the Community Services Unit with the assistance of various other department members. The Citizens Police Academy is a revolutionary concept in law enforcement and community-oriented policing. It's part of a continuing program to develop citizen awareness and understanding of the role of law enforcement in their community. Held twice a calendar year, the 10-week course is a highly sought-after community engagement activity that increases transparency and builds community trust in the police department. Weekly classes are comprised of both lecture and hands-on instruction, including a department overview, tours of police facilities, role-playing scenarios, gang and drug awareness, and demonstrations by various specialty units. Each year, the Goodyear Police Department celebrates the holidays with approximately 20 well-deserving children with our annual Shop with a Cop event. This event is made possible by considerable donation from the Pebble Creek Home Tour Group. Shop with a Cop is always the biggest and most anticipated community services unit event of the year. Traditionally, over 30 police department members participate alongside the Goodyear Mayor, City Council members, explorers, volunteers, and event sponsors. The event starts with breakfast and a visit by Santa and Mrs. Claus, at which time each child is presented with a generous Walmart gift card. An impressive procession of police vehicles with lights and sirens then makes their way to the Walmart on Estrella Parkway, where children enjoy one-on-one time shopping with their cop. Shop with a Cop is a favorite annual tradition at the Goodyear Police Department and another great example of community policing. A program we are especially proud of is the Homeless Outreach Program, or HOT. Since its inception in September of 2018, it has proven to be very successful in providing resources and assisting the homeless in getting off the street. Managed by Sergeant Mary Ward, she has partnered with the Phoenix Rescue Mission, Care First in Avondale, and St. Mary's Food Bank to provide the needed supplies and resources to our homeless population in Goodyear. Several success stories have emerged from this program, including Josh, who left his life of heroin addiction and homelessness to pursue a new life, drug-free and living in a home with his family.
The Goodyear Police Department has had an established school resource officer program for over 20 years. We have 1 supervising sergeant in the unit and 4 school resource officers who are assigned to the 3 public high schools in Goodyear and serve the elementary and middle schools in their service areas. In addition, the SROs provide service to all public charter schools throughout the city. The SROs patrol school campuses and surrounding neighborhoods, providing information to detectives when investigating crimes and provide selective traffic enforcement as needed. The SROs also work security after hours at sporting events, school dances, and graduation ceremonies, and make classroom presentations on various topics such as youth alcohol abuse, traffic safety, anti-bullying, drug prevention, and distracted driving. Officers maintain an open, interactive relationship with the students, striving to provide a positive image of law enforcement and prevent crime from occurring on campus. The SROs act as a liaison between the community, school administration, and the police department. Officers have provided training for school staff, administrators, and students on what to do in the case of an emergency situation, including conducting active shooter and lockdown drills at school campuses. All Goodyear SROs have received crisis intervention training to include specialized training in autism, de-escalation techniques, and teen suicide prevention with an emphasis on family support. To further build the relationship between the SROs and the student population, the unit participates in several events throughout the community, including the Lids on Kids Helmet Safety Program, Police Explorers, and the Goodyear Police Teen Academy. The Goodyear Police Department SRO unit hosts an annual Teen Police Academy for high school students, ages ranging from 14 to 18 years old. This academy training is taught by the school resource officers in conjunction with other various divisions of the Goodyear Police Department. The Teen Academy provides an inside look at law enforcement and is geared towards teens who may have an interest in a criminal justice career. In 2019, the Goodyear Police School Resource Officer Unit participated in the Lids on Kids Helmet Safety Program, the Walking School Bus, and a crime scene class with hands-on exercise for over 150 students. The unit created school attendance awareness programs, sending a video out to the school districts. The SROs created a reunification program and conducted drills with 60 staff members and 75 students in their teen court program.